Sorry.
Yes, brother Shaka.
Yeah, Car, I'm very interested in what you're saying, yeah, based upon the fact that yesterday you were saying that hardly anybody ever uses these things positive. But oh, Veli's already sharing my screen. I was sharing this here for the benefit of my brother Reggie, because my brother Reggie has given people the impression that I'm lying when I say that there are many people in Nigeria who still practice Ifa and revere the Orisha. Yeah, so I've brought up a site that I believe Reggie would find reputable, and it's the BBC, the British Broadcasting Caucasians, and they have covered the Oshun Festival that takes place every year in Osogbo. And as it says, the Oshun Osogbo Festival, a traditional celebration that is thought to be 600 years old, is underway in Nigeria. This was August of last year. Southwestern Oshun State, yeah. And by the way, so even though they're not necessarily dealing with nobody cares about Orisha, they still got on Oshun State. The 2-week festival is considered to be the biggest annual traditional religious event of the Yoruba people. It attracts thousands of worshippers and spectators, not just from Nigeria, but from all over the world. Yeah, and so I'm just going to scroll down. Yeah, as you can see, these are some of the pictures. Now look in the background. Yeah, right. Does this look like a small event? Okay.
No.
So this is
does it look like people are being demonized? No.
Yeah. But come on now. I'll get back to that statement. But by the way, you were the one, who said that the Yoruba don't even care about that no more. No one's actually dealing with it. Yeah. So now don't try to switch up the thing right now.
Me?
No. Reggie said this. Yeah.
Okay.
Reggie was saying basically that none of the Yorubas care about it anymore. So I'm saying, nobody ever even practices it, right? So
really,
right. So I'm just demonstrating. But to be fair though, man,
you haven't laughed
because you said nobody ever. Again?
You're misrepresenting what I said.
No, I'm not. People can go back and watch it. Yeah, you said many times.
No.
The Europe don't even do it no more. Why do we want to do with that? No, you're imposing your thing, trying to do with this thing, and that the Europeans don't even care about it no more. So I'm just demonstrating this massive festival every year. 1 second, I'm not finished yet. This massive festival takes place every year, right? Every year this thing takes place, yeah. And by the way, one time when we was on, I can't remember what channel it was. Witness brought up these brothers, yeah, the Ayo Masquerade. There's a whole festival dedicated to this masquerade itself. Yeah, this masquerade tradition. You know what I'm saying? And what's interesting is that when it says that it draws thousands of people from around the world, yeah, we're talking about when they actually really mean around the world. This festival is actually a tourist attraction. Yeah,
right. It's like Mecca pilgrim also.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
People from Brazil, Haiti, Peru, basically, yeah, all over the world. Go ahead.
Right. So this is obviously then perpetrated towards a shrine that is dedicated to the Orisha Oshun. And you know that because of some of the colors and the things that are placed on the shrine itself, like mirrors and fans. There's those drinks are I'm not sure what the drinks might be, but there's a few different examples. But obviously the color yellow is associated with Oshun, and the color white is a color of divination. It's a Batala's color, which is divination. You know what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of different common people, royalty, and then you got this big picture of all these white folks. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously there's tourism involved in the Oshun festival in Osogbo. Yeah, and there's also commerce taking place with how people are selling bees and all kind of different things. So I'm just making it clear that, you know what I'm saying, there is a significant amount. When I said that there's a significant amount of people in Nigeria still practicing the Ifa religion, Reggie tried to tell you that I was lying.
No. Can I respond?
So yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So
can I respond?
Making it clear, you know what I mean? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so what I would say is, first and foremost, Shakara has said before that their spiritualists are demonized. You can see thousands of people worshiping here, and they're not being demonized, they're not being hurt, they're not being harmed, they're not being persecuted, as Shakara has said in the past many times. And as you can see, just because you can get a festival of thousands of people doesn't mean that the rest of the population is happy with it. You get what I'm saying? If you go to festivals here, you'll see every year the Pride March, thousands of people again march but it doesn't mean that's representative of the whole society and how the whole society feels about it. I said before, previously, that Nigeria is a population of about 200 million people, of which 40 to 45% is Christian or Muslim. So that 40 is Christian and 45 is Islam, or 50-50, whichever way you want to put it. But the remaining 10% is African spiritualists and other faiths.
Great. Thank you for putting that straight, before you wasn't saying that. At the same time, though, I want to throw. You said, yeah.
I'll go on. I'll go based on what if I had my laptop now, I would obviously show you the chart. But if you go on the statistics,
that's fine. That's fine. But
Atlas,
I would agree with your statistics. But my only point is that before you never gave people those statistics. You attempted to give people the impression that this is me, a diasporan, imposing my opinion on native Africans who don't care about the tradition. So I'm just saying, and then I completely affirm the fact that most of the people in Nigeria are Christian and Muslim, but there is a significant amount of people that still practice their Ifa traditional religion, and even some of the Muslims and Christians practice their Ifa traditional religion when it comes to certain times of the year, for example, a Walk festival. Yeah. So you said that even though you can get thousands of people to a festival, it doesn't mean that the rest of the population is happy with it. Explain that.
Explain that. Okay, so you get the LGBT marches every year in Soho or whatever. They bring together thousands of people. But I'd like to think that there's a significant majority of people here who are still against such practices and will not turn up for such.
Of course. No matter, Reggie, no matter what you do in life, you would always have certain people who would like it and certain people who would dislike it.
But forget the LGBT thing for a second. Let's place that in the context of Nigeria and Ifa and this festival. What do you mean when you say that it doesn't mean that the rest of the population is happy with it?
Yeah, as in, okay, you let them do their festival just to appease them so that there's not unrest, but at the same time, you know, like, it's not something that the rest of the group, the majority groups, as in the 80% or 90% of people in Nigeria.
That's normal. That's in every.
Okay, 1 second. How do they view it though? The rest of the 80% or 90%, how did they view a festival like this? What do they think about it?
They think that they will tell their children, don't go to those people because those people are practicing things that are against your faith. You get what I'm saying? That are opposed to our beliefs.
Do they consider it witchcraft and devil worship and fetish?
Yeah, most people do.
Again?
Yeah, there is a lot.
Most people do, especially those who don't understand the faith.
Right. So I'm my two Nigerian brothers on the panel are saying that most of the population of Nigeria would consider the Oshun festival in Osogbo to be witchcraft, devil worship, and fetish and idolatry.
Right.
Yeah, just like you would, just like from what Malik has said. You get what I'm saying?
So that therein lies the demonization of Ifa and African spiritual systems.
Well, yes.
Even Christians demonize Muslim demonizes Christians. Everybody demonize everybody.
Yeah,
and African spiritualists like Shakara demonize people of the Abrahamic faith.
No.
Colonial marketing.
It's a forced comparison to make, but you're entitled to it. I'm not going to really
all you go on is magnitudes. That's all it is. You talk about magnitudes, but at the same time,
as though magnitude is not important. As though there is no value or there is no real life consequences to the magnitude of something. This is a ridiculous argument to make. We all know the history of these things. So when my brothers and sisters who are converted here play tit for tat when it comes to these things, as though they don't understand the context of the demonization of African traditional spiritual systems, it's really dishonest reasoning. And I would hope, and it not for my own personal sake, or my own personal sensibility, but I'd hope that we can get beyond that kind of foolishness, because y'all know what it is that I'm saying, and you will know that there is no equilibrium, and there is no significant movement among people that practice traditionalist spiritual system in the 1 second. In the demonization of Abrahamic faith, just because they don't like the faith, it's nonsense.
No, Shakara, you don't get it. At the end of the day, yeah.
Finish. Those African spiritualists, yeah, who are critical of Christianity and Islam, are critical of it because of the fact that the religions and those who practice them have organized to target and demonize the African spiritual traditional systems, and it is perfectly just for those who practice and adhere to those systems to be critical of traditions that come with the express intent of destroying them. There's nothing unjust.
Well, that's the same thing. That's the same thing for the people of Abrahamic faiths. They are skeptical about this belief that as Malik has demonstrated, can be also used to destroy people.
And you're entitled to your skepticism. Yeah.
If someone could just make a.
Veli had a line of questioning earlier in relation to the question of the day that I think is an interesting one. So I don't know I'm assuming that he's working, but if he wanted to come and facilitate that line of questioning, I'll be most happy to. I can't stay here all day today, but yeah, I just hope that we get over this honesty regarding you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well.
So you're entitled to hold on to your dishonesty, but
it's not dishonesty.
Try to draw an equivalence between how African spiritualists view Abrahamic religions and how people of Abrahamic religions view African spirituality. It's just
we all demonize each other, even those who practice.
There you go. There you go.
There is no equivalency to be drawn between how African spiritualists view Abrahamic religions and how people who practice Abrahamic religions view African religions.
Yes, there is.
There isn't, bro. There isn't. There's no equivalency to be drawn.
There is
just magnitude.
You know what I was about to say? Even though you look at the Hausas and the Igbos, they do the same spiritual practices and they demonize each other, even though they have the same faith. Just like the Abrahamic people demonize each other, like the sects demonize each other.
You know what I'm saying? This guy is imposing his Afrocentric view.
Yes, Shaka.
Are they traditionalists?
Huh? Yes, Shaka.
Are the Hausa people traditionalists?
Yes, they are.
You can't, Shaka, you're just beginning, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're asking.
Are you being serious? You're saying to me that the Hausa people are traditionalists?
Yes, they are.
They're not Muslim, no?
Of course they are.
They have Muslims.
They're Muslim, though, ain't they?
Yes. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. They have pure Muslims. They have also Muslims who combine African spiritualism with Islam, and then they have also some who is Muslims by basically let me say just faith, but their culture is spiritualism. So you have like three faces. You have the one who is pure in faith of Islam. The second one is those who mix both, and the third those who confess Islam, but they really practice spiritualism.
Yeah, but the majority of the Hausa are Muslim. That's a fact. I don't know why.
Yeah. I could say that. Yeah.
The overwhelming majority of the Hausa people are Muslim. Yeah, that's
right.
That's what they identify as. So why when I say that, act like I'm being dishonest? It doesn't make any sense. That the Hausa people are Muslim. They're not traditionalists. And so anyway, let's not even go.
Why they have a proportion that are traditionalists as well.
It's not bad. So did the Europe. You were denied that just the other day. Veli. So I don't know if you got.
No. I didn't deny that.
No. Yes, but the Yorubas also is the same thing. And it goes what?
There's no equivalency to be drawn. Yeah. Anyway.
No.
Oh my God.
A couple questions.
Africans about Africa.
When I'm even just in one form of media, which is like Nollywood movies, there are when it comes to African spiritual systems and how they're depicted in Nollywood, there's no equivalency to be drawn between how African spiritual systems are depicted and how Islam and Christianity is depicted in these films. None whatsoever. Yeah.
No, I would say it's the perfect thing that you see in the movies. It's the same thing that goes on in real life. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put it in the movies. The same way you see the Christians pissing and praying over face towels just to wipe themselves and be protected is the same way you see in reality. Same thing with the movies. That's why I told you the main reason why.
No, that's
even.
Anyway,
The main reason, one second, the main reason why we all demonize each other is because we have very few people who actually stick to this tradition, either Islam or Christianity or spiritualism. It's only like I could say 1% of
whatever you say, bro. Whatever you say, you cannot say.
Exactly, Malik.
Whatever you're gonna say, whatever you're gonna say to them, you cannot tell me that Nigeria is a nation where Islam and Christianity are routinely demonized. Yeah, the entire government system, the social system, is built around Christians and Muslims. Yeah,
right.
The Christian tradition.
You're not paying attention, Shakara. You do more talking than you do listening. That's the problem.
Christian tradition and the Muslim tradition are the traditions of the elites and those
right.
who Nigeria and those who govern Nigeria and the majority of the nation, to the tune of 90%. At least is Christian and Muslim. So the idea that in a society where Christians and Muslims dominate, that the demonization of Christianity and Islam is equivalent to the demonization of African spirituality is a joke thing, and you both know.
No, so Shaka, I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't say it's a joke thing, because if you look at numbers, it's like saying, say for instance, if I have 1 to 10 Christian and 1 to 10 Muslim, you would have 8 of the Christians and Muslims demonizing the 2%. Just like in spiritualism also, if you have 1 billion people who practice African spiritualism, you will have more those who practice in the wrong way demonize the 1% of those who practice in the right way. So numbers don't really count.
You're saying that, but you have to show me now where that right? So
I already showed you. I already told you. If you look around the African people, all they do with this
Malik,
with this knowledge is kill people and destroy properties.
But you're telling you haven't shown me anything. Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say. There's thousands of people on the street in an Oshun festival.
What have you shown us, Shakara?
Which is an Ifa festival, and nobody's killing anybody, right? So
right.
What have you shown us? You've only shown us that the people in the festival are not being demonized. That's what you've shown us. You showed us in a festival where people are not being demonized. So what have you showed us in terms of demonization?
Reggie, the fact is, you very well know what I'm talking about, and you're attempting to deny it at the moment. So I can't.
Well, you're asking Malik to show you something.
The demonization of African spirituality is apparent, throughout world history. Okay, that's the fact. Yeah. So I'm saying to you now, I'm not aware of what you are talking about. I don't know that you are from Nigeria, right? I'm not from Nigeria, as you like to remind me often, Reggie. Yeah. So you're saying to me now that there's an equivalency to be drawn, between the African spiritualists are just as virulently anti-Abrahamic. What's it called? As the Abrahamic are against African spirituality. Yeah. So
yes.
I'm not aware of this, isn't it? Yeah. Right. We can definitely demonstrate just through Nollywood movies alone that demonization of African spirituality is evident and apparent. Yeah. I've not seen any Nollywood movies created by African spiritualists to demonize Christianity and Islam. I don't know of that dynamic. So I'm saying to you, if you can show me evidence of this, like where is there a group of African spiritualists going around desecrating churches and mosques, as African shrines have been desecrated throughout time, Where is that taking place? Let me know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I accept it. Where is that taking place? I accept it.
Okay, so I think the reason is because they are in a minority. But if you look at the Christians also, they have movies that's being made to demonize themselves. I'm not saying the Christian doing it. It could be the Muslims directing the movie, or it could be an African spiritualist directing the movie. But what you're saying is a fact. I haven't really seen a movie where, there was a fight between the African spiritualists destroying, sacred places, probably a masjid or a church. No, but I could tell you I haven't really seen the otherwise also, but I know it's a fact that there would have been a movie that it definitely does happen, because you would have see at the end of the day they would say, oh, Jesus reigns, you know, all the voodoos has been destroyed, the whole shrine has been destroyed or whatever, the old. But yeah, you're right when it comes to that, and like I said, it could be. It could be the reason. It could be the reason could be because they are in a minority. If it was otherwise, trust me. If it was one second. If it was otherwise, then the African spiritualists would have done the same thing.
That's speculation.
So the numbers doesn't matter. To me, the numbers doesn't matter.
That's speculation. You're talking to your people.
Malik, if they were making movies, they would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
The reality is I know of one movie here whereby prior to the modern day
I beg, Shakira, stop going to movies and go to the actual place and actually learn.
I am. But you know nothing by your own admission about Ifa, Reggie. So go to the festival and enjoy yourself there. Look, they're not persecuting anyone there. You're able to. I will. All right. Thank you very much. The fact of the matter is the demonization of African spiritual systems is a fact. There is nobody can tell me, that there's any equivalence to be drawn. Right? That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, that's the first thing. Right. The second thing is there is a film called Chedo. It was written and directed by a man by the name of Osman Sambeni. Yeah, and in it he depicts the coming of Islam to Senegal, what is now called Senegal. And it's based upon a real history whereby a group of people called the Chedo, galvanized, because they were protecting their spiritual, indigenous spiritual traditions, okay? And so the film does depict, battles between, the imams that came from North Africa, I believe, and the Chedo who were trying to hold on to their traditional spiritual system. Yeah, that does exist. But yeah, the idea that African spiritualists would persecute Christians if the numbers are different. I mean, there have been times where we were the minority.
Yo, let me quickly ask a question, man, because I need to jump.